The Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York City is the site of today's first ever NBA Draft Lottery. And inside, here in the starlight roof of the Waldorf, about 150 reporters have gathered to cover this event. The television networks are here, as are reporters from Fort Wayne, Indiana in the Midwest, clear across to Israel in the Mideast. And hi again, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien. Happy Mother's Day and welcome to a special edition of At the Half. Down below us there is the drum, center stage, where in just a few moments, 7 sealed envelopes will be gingerly placed. In each envelope is a team logo. The Hawks, the Warriors, the Pacers, the Clippers, the Knicks, the Kings, and the Supersonics. They all have team representatives here. And as you can see now, NBA Commissioner David Stern, he's up on the platform chatting with them now. Those envelopes will be drawn at random by the commissioner. He'll put them on that board back there and then finally open them in order from 7 on down to 1. Now, this is, of course, not the draft. That'll be happening June 18th. But there is a lot at stake here. All 7 teams will go home this afternoon with something, the rights to pick the first 7 players in the draft. The number 1 pick in the draft will certainly be Patrick Ewing, the 3-time All-America out of Georgetown. The 7-foot center is a franchise player. Or as one NBA scouting director put it, we've had the Mikan era, the Russell era, the Kareem era. Now we'll have the Ewing era. And he added, he doesn't see another era on the horizon. Beyond Patrick Ewing, there is considerable depth in this year's draft, including such blue chippers as Wayman Tisdale of Oklahoma, Benoit Benjamin of Creighton, Karl Malone, the mailman out of Louisiana Tech, and Chris Mullen of St. John's, among others. While the odds of picking the exact drafting order are about 5,000 to 1, the odds on any single team landing Ewing are only 7 to 1. Each team has its fingers crossed, and some are getting some unofficial help. In Seattle, an Irish bar is having St. Patrick Ewing Day. They're all wearing green. In Sacramento, they already know they'll get number 2 pick if they believe a local psychic who figured that one out for them. The ticket window is open in Los Angeles, and here in New York City, the Knicks have been given this lucky horseshoe right off the foot of Harness Racing Speedster on the road again. So the stage is set, and now let's go down to NBA Commissioner David Stern, who is about set, I think, to begin the proceedings.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us. For the very best college basketball players in the country, the annual NBA Draft is the gateway to the highest basketball competition in the world. For the 23 NBA teams and their fans, the draft is their future. This year's NBA Draft will be held on June 18th. And by resolution of the NBA Board of Governors, the first 7 selections in that draft have been awarded to the 7 teams that did not qualify for the 1985 NBA playoffs. The order of those selections is to be determined by a random drawing. That's why we're here. With me are representatives of the 7 participating teams. From the Atlanta Hawks, Stan Kasten. From the Golden State Warriors, Al Attles. From the Indiana Pacers, Herb Simon. From the Los Angeles Clippers, Carl Shear. From the New York Knicks, Dave DeBusschere. From the Sacramento Kings, Bob Cook. And from the Seattle Supersonics, Lenny Wilkins. The 7 numbers behind me represent the first 7 positions in the draft. The identity of the team selecting at each position will be determined by a random draw of 7 envelopes. Each envelope contains the logo of one of the participating teams. The first envelope drawn from the drum will represent the first pick in the draft and will be placed behind me, unopened, in position number 1. The remaining envelopes will then be selected and placed under numbers 2 through 7 in the order drawn. The envelopes will then be opened, starting with number 7 and proceeding to number 1. Within the past hour, each of the logos has been placed in an envelope and sealed by Jack Wagner, a partner in the international accounting firm of Ernst & Winnie. Mr. Wagner has certified to me, first, that he alone was present in the room when he placed the logos in the envelopes. Second, that he has since maintained continuous and exclusive possession of the envelopes. And third, that as of this moment, he does not know which logo is in which envelope. I will now ask Mr. Wagner to place the envelopes in the drum. Thank you. The drum will now be turned to further mix the envelopes, and then I will conduct the drawing.
That is Jack Joyce. He's the head of security for the NBA, spinning the drum. About 6 turns, I think.
The team whose logo is in this envelope will have the first pick in the NBA draft.
He will do that 6 more times.
Draft position 2. Draft position 3.
Horace Ballmer, another security guy for the NBA, is putting him on the board.
Draft position 4. Draft position 5. Draft position 6. Seventh pick in the NBA draft.
There they are, and here we go.
I will now open the envelopes.
Nervous laughter here.
The 7th pick in the 1985 NBA draft goes to the Golden State Warriors.
And the first team to hate the lottery, because they would have had the 1 or 2 pick in the coin toss.
The 6th pick goes to the Sacramento Kings.
There are 5 left: Atlanta, Indiana, the Clippers, New York, and Seattle. Sacramento disappointed.
The 5th pick goes to the Atlanta Hawks.
Atlanta Hawks get 5, leaving Indiana, the Clippers, New York, and Seattle.
The 4th pick goes to the Seattle Supersonics.
And the excitement builds, and I think we'll just let this one play. 3 left: Indiana, LA, New York.
The 3rd pick goes to the Los Angeles Clippers.
Dave DeBusschere.
The 2nd pick in the 1985 NBA draft goes to the Indiana Pacers.
The horseshoe works. Basketball is back in New York City, my friends.
Have the first pick in the 1985 NBA college draft.
As you can imagine, this is a
Thank you,
New
ladies
York
and gentlemen.
crowd
Congratulations
here at the
to all.
Waldorf Astoria. And I don't think David Buscher believes it yet. Well, maybe he does by now. He's got the card, and
Lenny?
I think he's in shock. So the New York Knickerbockers will have the #1 pick in the NBA draft in June. When we come back, we'll hear from some key team representatives as CBS Sports coverage of the NBA draft lottery continues after a word from your local stations. We're back at the Waldorf Astoria in New York City in the Starlight Roof, and Dave DeBusschere is here with the #1 pick in the draft. And you said can you believe it?
Oh, I tell you, when you got down to the last three, I couldn't look. I couldn't listen to the commissioner. I was very nervous. It's just a wonderful thing having the #1 pick, and obviously I think everybody knows who our #1 pick is going to be, and we're very delighted.
I think you knew too. Show what you got in your hand here. He has number 33 all printed up here already. Patrick, there's confidence for you. So you will make a call to Ewing.
Oh yeah, I'd like to speak to him, and takes a little suspense out of who we're going to select, but
you can buy that,
I can
okay?
buy it.
All right, let's have Carl Scheer come up here because he has the number 3 pick with L.A. And Carl, I guess congratulations in order. What are you going to do with that pick?
Well, we're not sure yet. There's outstanding members of the college game coming out, so we're excited about the fact that it's a deep draft and we'll get a good player.
Will it be Benoit or Wayman?
Well, we're going to have to go back and look at that again, I think, before we make that choice.
Okay, Herb Simon, congratulations to you. What about you? Who do you think you'll pick with this?
I guess his choice will be up to what we do. And we have some great talent out there who's going to make a decision on what we do. So we're very excited, and we're glad to be here.
Okay, all right. Let's go back down the order for you one more time. Number 1, of course, was the New York Knickerbockers, then the Indiana Pacers, the Clippers, Seattle, Atlanta, Sacramento, and Golden State Warriors. We asked Patrick Ewing to join us around the half. He declined, and he will agree to appear later in our broadcast, and we'll go live to Washington, D.C. right after the game. Coming up, the second half between the Celtics and the Sixers. I'm Pat O'Brien. Thank you for joining us at the half. Enjoy the second half here on CBS.